Where did the rain start beating us economy-wise? In Kenya and in Africa at large. Money, as we know it, as we call it currency. Remember, currency, it means current. The way we speak of current waves, it is in constant movement. It is meant to keep flowing. That is why we talk about money circulation. Money in Africa was introduced as a tool of colonization. The colonial masters, used to pay the slaves just coins. This is how we called them masters simply because they introduced the tool of money. And even today, the neo-colonial masters continue to use money as a tool of neo-colonialism. Those with money, they see other people like slaves. You find our value, our dignity is tied to what we have. If you don't have money, you are perceived to be nothing. We have lost humanity in exchange of money. This is where the rains started beating us. In Kenya today, we are slaves of the West. We are the slaves of the East. We are getting loans from China. We are getting loans from IMF, from World Bank, from USA. Right, left, center. We are living on debts. This is a colonial tool of colonization. Africa is the largest continent in the world, but we are blinded. We are made blind because of this economic system. I refer to it as global economic system, which is biased. It does not promote equity. IMF and the World Bank, they print dollars. We have no control of how much they can print. Yet, when it comes to Kenya, for us to print money, we are put under a system, a global system that limits how much we can print so that we can control the inflation and other economic ruptures that might come up with, like the way it happened in Zimbabwe when they printed more money. We know the fall of the Zimbabwe economy. Today in Kenya, we cannot account of how much we have in circulation. In total, how many shillings do we have? How much have we printed so far? How much is total Kenyan shillings in the global aspect, in the global view? This is why digital system, blockchain. If you ask me how many bitcoins do we have, I can say how many bitcoins we have. Who owns what percentage of Bitcoin? I can account, and that one, it doesn't need anybody to own it. It is direct in the blockchain. I can go and see who transferred what to who to where. All that transactions can be seen. Blockchain fosters clarity, equity, and transparency. Personally, having one Bitcoin in Kenya and another person having one Bitcoin in USA, we are equal in terms of how much we have at our hands. But why I say the current global economic system is biased, you find that in Kenya, I have 1,000,000 shillings, another one has $1,000,000, is far much rich than me. So we need to move to shift into global equalization in terms of economy. And this is why I see digital currency as a savior. Back in 3 years ago, Central Bank of Kenya, they introduced the Kenyan digital currency, and they had a white paper which was to undergo public it was to be subjected into public participation, but it failed because our current leaders, they don't want to see that clarity. We want to know how much shillings are pre-printed up to date, and who owns that, who owns what percentage of those money. That's why you will find some of us, we are living on other people's land. We are like, we are just slaves to some people. They own over 50% of our economy. You will find that over 50% of the total currency that is printed in Kenya, it lies in the hands of the less than 10% of our population. This one renders the term equality and equalization and equity null and point, except on the paper. We talk in our constitution that equality, equal distribution of resources. Remember, our currency is a resource also. It needs equality. We need to know, where did this mathematics, when did it get, when did we go wrong such that money went into a few people? That kind of currency distribution, it is abnormal, because we know what a normal curve should look like. In mathematics, we know, any population, any data distribution, it must bring a certain curve for it to be normal. Kenyan currency distribution is abnormal. We end Charity Ngilu and James Orengo at one point in the Ministry of Land. They came up with innovation which was to digitize our land records. What this would have meant, our land system, our land ownership system would have been put into a blockchain, a system where you can see how many acres in totality we have in Kenya, who owns which percentage, which land, and who transferred this land from since we started historical data. This land came from this person to this person to this person. It is only digital means that we can bring light and clarity and transparency and equity and promote root out corruption. Today we reign on darkness. All these kind of innovations, both in the CBK central bank posturing about the digital currency and digitization of the land, they were shut down by the economic saboteurs, by our corrupt leaders who cannot account what they have, and they don't want light. But I know, as Bible says, light and darkness they fight, but eventually light will wins. It is this moment that we have to push for the light to win in Kenya. We need light to thrive. We need light in every corner of Kenya. In terms of land ownership, we want to know who owns which land and how did he come to own it, because we are living on a very disadvantaged economic system, where I saw the other day Charlene Ruto calling press conference. What qualifies her? Is it education? Does she have any knowledge, any special knowledge? Just because she is the daughter, sperm does not qualify any person. It is about what the knowledge and the capacity that you have built. But we are fostering inequality. Our current system is biased, totally biased. But a time has come for us to face the reality, not for ourselves, but for the next generation. As Martin Luther will say, I have a dream. I see. I might not reach there with you, but I know at one time we will have equality in Kenya. We will know who owns. We will have respect for humanity. We will have humanity, dignity, not based on what you have, not based on money, but because of who you are. We will have a Kenya. Moses saw Canaan, but he did not reach there. We might be seeing that light. We might not reach there, but our sons and daughters will one day enjoy what we are fighting for. Let us push forward. Pipa.